This week, we've decided to come back to our favourite proving ground, the magnificent Elan Valley.
Yes, this incredible landscape provides the perfect backdrop for another epic, big-budget TFL production as John Siddall and I go in search of Transformers.
I am an evil BMW 320 Decepticon. Prepare to fight Volvo C70 Autobot scum.
Well, I would, but we haven't yet done the risk assessment, and health and safety have ruled war to be a bit unsafe.
Yuck. Kids, this is why Optimus Prime was not a Volvo. This script sucks butt. Big time. I'm off to hog the middle lane of a motorway somewhere.
So another victory won by the hero Autobots. But evil aliens are still out there. Next time you see a BMW hogging the middle lane, it could be Arnie, the Decepticon. Of course, there's also the outside possibility that it's just a selfish...
When they told us that we were doing an item on Transformers, we just couldn't resist making a little cartoon of our own. But we're not just picking on BMWs with our lane-hogging gag, and selfish come in all shapes and sizes. So if you are one of these self-indulgent wieners, then please do the right thing and move the over. Thank you. But all joking aside, these two models are Transformers, hardtop coupes that transform neatly into open-top convertibles at the touch of a button, and they're part of a new generation of vehicles that are doing for the cabriolet market what the turbocharger did for diesels. But I have one mammoth complaint about these Transformers, and it has naff all to do with the war between Autobots and Decepticons.
No, my problem is simply that it looks too much like an ordinary roof with the top up. The fold-away roof is just too good at impersonating an ordinary hardtop.
As a result, you spend most of your time driving around with the roof down just to show off that you've got a convertible. We've both nearly frozen to death this week, but there was no way that either of us wanted to be seen burning around in an ordinary couple of coupes. That would be ridiculous.
That's right, today we're on top of the world in the Welsh mountains. And it has to be said, it's naffing freezing. But just in case we're seen by the occasional local farmer or perhaps a rogue sheep, we couldn't possibly think of putting the roof up. I mean, that just wouldn't do the car's justice at all. This is the most beautiful Volvo I have ever driven, and I'm not just saying that to be nice. It has beautiful lines, stunning styling, and the attention to detail is just exceptional. But then Volvo do share a factory with Pininfarina, the style guru behind Alfa Romeo. The steering's a bit vague and the suspension's a bit on the wooden side, but get it on a motorway and it is pretty brisk. It'll take you from 0 to 62 in 7.6 seconds and on to over 150 miles an hour, courtesy of its 6-speed gearbox. It has to be said that Volvos are specifically designed to be sensible, and they've even made a diesel version of this, their most exciting model. They just can't seem to help themselves. The C70 is effectively a car that wants to go out and party with all the other soft tops. It wants to go to a rave, but it's not allowed to have any fun at all because its mother wouldn't approve. It is the most politically correct car in the world. If it were human, it would probably be outside Parliament campaigning against something. It's front-wheel drive with traction control, which means that the handling is far from exciting and the gearbox is just not designed for fast changes at all. At a more leisurely pace, the box is smooth and refined, but start throwing it around these windy roads with a bit of enthusiasm, and you soon realise that the gears are often hard to find. With a bit of brute force, you can usually get them to drop in, but I've managed to find 5th instead of 3rd on a few occasions, which can make for some pretty hairy overtaking if you're not careful.
The first thing you notice about jumping into this car is just how comfy these seats are. The electric roof is like a work of art. climb in, press the button, 30 seconds later, hey, you're in a convertible. It's really nice. As we come to expect with the BMW 3 Series, the handling is really good, the ride's very comfy, the suspension is firm but not too hard. It's got an electronic stability program and ABS brakes, so if you need to stop quickly, you've got all the power you need to bring the car to a complete halt.
So after driving both, we agreed that the BMW was a more engaging driving experience, but with so little to choose between these two, we still couldn't pick a clear favourite. So we're going to settle this like men, the old-fashioned way, with a race. Not in the usual sense, however, but in the form of a flat-out roof drag race. First one up is the winner.
Now, as you can plainly see, Tim made an early start with the C70 and the 320 still finished first, so the BMW clearly has the fastest roof. But there was one subtle problem that Tim hadn't yet realised. My roof may have closed, but it certainly wasn't fastened. In fact, it was completely stuck. Broken, stuffed, kaput.
Now I couldn't help laughing just a little bit because I'd managed to get less than 5 miles before I had the call from Shia the Beamer Slayer. So as they say, hold on son, here comes the cavalry. This was indeed a strange fault, and yet somehow Siddle had actually managed to break BMW's car. So, in a desperate attempt to fix it before they could find out, we ran the roof through its entire cycle again, and again, and after several more attempts...
My transformer's fixed! I've got a tip for you. Don't take it off again. Right, let's go, quick.
But at the end of the day, our preferred transformer is... Sven, the Volvo C70 Autobot.
So there you have it, space-age technology, and there'll be more after the break, unless we get abducted by aliens.